don't know if you want to leave this in there. I actually just wrote a chapter in my new book on the first run that Ventura put up. It was a run that slipped through the cracks. I got up to the meeting. It's April, and we've got the first holiday of the year coming up, and there was a bunch of controversy. Should we, since there's a war going on, should we just forget it? And the traditionalists said, "There's no way we're not going to have our annual run. We're going to have that run, and then we're going to go to Bass Lake, and then we're going to have the USA run, and then we're going to have the last run of the year." We had 4 runs a year, 3 California runs, and 1 mandatory USA run, and there was no way we weren't going to have those runs even during the war. And so I had just changed the charter name to Ventura from Los Angeles. So Oakland, politically, they were punishing us. They said, "Well, who's going to do the run?" And Oakland's attitude was, Ventura's the newest charter in California. So that was like one step up from a prospect charter. And I was pissed because we had been down there in the war. We've had people getting murdered in our charter. We've had people, in conflict with the Mongols. It was serious. And to be treated like a bunch of newbies was a real insult to me. And it was sort of a political challenge, kind of a slap in the face. They wanted to see how Ventura was going to handle it. So I said, I embraced it. I said, sure, Ventura will have it. No problem. So we had a run at McGrath Beach in Ventura. Now, I was real familiar with McGrath Beach because my uncle, Dick Olivas, and the McGrath family lived next door to each other. Now, the people that are familiar with Ventura County will know the Olivas and McGrath name is very powerful. Dick Olivas was a long-standing Spanish family, and my youngest aunt, Anne, married into the family. So as a child growing up, I would go out to the Olivas Ranch. The McGrath Ranch was like next door, and we would go down the river, what is now or had become the McGrath Beach. And so I'd go down there hunting. I had a single shot 22 long rifle. And I'd go down there hunting, shoot tin cans, exploring. If I was good, I was like 10, 12 years old at the time. Sometimes my uncle let me drive the Jeep. And there was his father, who we called the old timer, was living on the ranch. Dick Olivas, Richard Olivas Sr., and he was a storyteller. And he actually, my favorite story from him was when Joaquin Marietta the Bandit spent the night at the Olivas Ranch, watering their horses, feeding their horses, and getting the men supplied with food and whatnot. Spent the night at the Olivas Ranch, and the posse showed up in the morning. And the best part of the story was the old timer said he liked the bandits better than he did the posse. And so that was my introduction to that area. So I thought, this is great. I'm going to have the run. I didn't tell anybody at the meeting because I was afraid, since the run, they were all assuming I'd have the run in the middle of California somewhere. I decided I was going to bring them into the war zone and let them get a little taste of what we were going through every day with the cops and possibly being shot at and whatnot. Maybe it was a cavalier attitude to have as a young leader, but that was my attitude. But I made one mistake. It was the Santa Clara River ran down to the mouth of the ocean, and to the left was McGrath State Park. And there's one thing I didn't realize. When you crossed the bridge, you were no longer in the city of Ventura. You were now in the city of Oxnard, and we were going to have to deal with the Oxnard cop. And I didn't figure that out till everything was established and the run was ready to go. And the Ventura police came over, knocked on the clubhouse door, the liaison to the club, and they said, "So we hear you're having a run down at McGrath." We said, "Yeah." And one of the cops that we were kind of friendly with said, "Why in the hell would you have a run in Oxnard city limits? You know you got to deal with the Oxnard PD." And I just was like, I never even said anything. I just was like thinking to myself, fuck. So it turned into an unbelievable weekend of ticket writing, field interrogation cards. We hunkered down into the area. We got in a fight with the Rangers about, it was first come, first serve, and my position was, so you want us just to ride into the camp and disrupt all the citizens that have paid for the weekend? I said, or we can right now decide on a section. That will be our section. We'll stay out of the citizens area. And, you know, they weren't going to give in at first. And then finally the park ranger relented and said, yeah, that's probably a better idea. So we had our own little section in the rear of the park. And as the people came in, people were getting pulled over. Everybody was getting tickets. And I got word, I made a comment, I go, all this stuff's not necessary. And so I got word somehow that Chief Owens, the Oxnard chief of police, wanted a meeting with me. And what you also have to understand at that time, Oxnard, Colonia was a serious gang area. And per capita, it was referred to as the biggest heroin distribution point in the United States. So the Oxnard PD was very well equipped. And so I'm told Chief Owens is waiting for me at the front entrance. So I along with Moldy Marvin volunteers to come with me. I initially asked for Sonny to come with me, and Sonny decided Marvin will go with you. And so Marvin and I walk out our gate that we have secured, go to the front gate, and there's this big, shiny, Airstream-looking command post. And I'm thinking, these guys got some money to burn. And we walk into the command post, and, you know, I start off by telling Chief Owens, this all isn't necessary, and this is, you know, why are you harassing us, pulling everybody over, giving us tickets? And Marvin's standing next to me, and Chief Owens looks at Marvin and myself, and he goes, the Hells Angels have a terrible reputation. And Marvin doesn't skip a beat. And Marvin goes, yeah, and we worked hard for it. And that's started out the meeting between us. And it was just very volatile. It was confrontational, never reached any agreement. Chief Owens demanded the ability to come into our camping area and drive through in police units, which was never going to happen. And so we basically dug in. We had a great run. My mom and dad came. My dad was a former CB and a mess cook. So he cooked all the food for us that weekend. I'd been given a bunch of money by the U.S., by the West Coast Treasurer. So my dad had bought steak. I just gave all the money to my dad. He bought alcohol, soft drinks. This is before people were drinking water. But all this, and he bought steaks. So my dad prepared a menu. We were going to have a meal Saturday afternoon, and then Sunday we would have a breakfast, I think some sort of brunch, but the evening meal was going to be a top sirloin steak. And then Monday morning, everybody was going to ride out, and Monday morning he would serve a breakfast, so everybody go on the road. So it was something new. There had never been, in any of the runs I'd gone to, food like this. And so it was a good reason to stay in the camp, because the Oxnard police, the Ventura sheriffs, and the Ventura PD, they were all harassing us. They were pulling everybody over, giving them tickets. So it was a long weekend, a lot of confrontations. The Oxnard PD ran over somebody in their sand vehicle by accident that was laying out some woman from part of the camp, nothing to do with us. We almost had several fistfights with the cops because they were watching us through binoculars, and they started focusing on the women and the girls who were wearing bathing suits and shit. So there was a lot of back and forth. But the person that took the cake at the end of the weekend could be no other than Sonny Barger. So everybody's been getting their FI cards. Everybody's been getting their tickets. So Sonny rides out with Oakland, gets pulled over. Oakland gets pulled over. I think he was with the whole chart. He couldn't have been by himself. I don't really remember. That's not an important part of the story. What's important is Sonny refuses to sign the ticket. They write him a loud pipes ticket. And Sonny said, I'm not signing that ticket. This is a stock motorcycle that I bought at Harley Davidson. He goes, these pipes are what comes on it. He goes, I'm not signing the ticket. And so they bring a sergeant down. And then it's, if you don't sign the ticket, we're going to arrest you. So Sonny says, fucking arrest me. So Sonny gets arrested because he won't sign the ticket. Now, this is the old Ventura jail. It's up at the top of California Street in Ventura. It's the sheriff's department, it's the courthouse, and it's the city jail. It's just an old rundown jail. You know, a few years later, they moved out to the Ventura Government Center, a whole new operation. So this is old town Ventura, the west end of town. Sonny Barger's in jail there. Everybody's up in arms. And Cisco comes and gets me, and he goes, we got to get Sonny out. And we go, okay. So call the bondsman who I have on standby. Cisco and I go into town by ourselves. And right across from the jail is a restaurant, a little mom and pop type restaurant. So we go in there and eat, and we're waiting for Sonny to get bailed. And I'm using the payphone inside the restaurant there to communicate with the bail bondsman. So everything's set. Everything's ready for Sonny to come out. Sonny won't leave the jail. He demands a lunch. He said, I've been arrested, and Sonny cites some damn California law where when they arrest him, they have to provide him with a meal. And Sonny won't leave till he gets a meal. So Cisco and I are like, we're cracking up. The bondsman doesn't know what to do. They go down to the Busy Bee and order Sonny some sort of sandwich. Now, what Sonny's meal was, I don't know. But Sonny would not leave until he got the sandwich delivered to him, ate it, and then he walked out of the Ventura jail like the conquering hero. And only Sonny Barger could do that. A fucking meal.